the underground. Can't hold us down now. We're so low and I just don't know how to face facts. Living life like a blackjack, like low pressure knows what's going. It's like that. Living life like a blackjack. 20 long years of this cold and rain and pain just to turn and do it again. I got my eyes focused on the prize because I know one day that we're all gonna rise. Here's the seeds of plant, let them grow.
What's going on, everybody? This is Roslyn from Planet X. Today we're here at Aliso Beach checking out the Victoria and National Skimboarding Championships. So let's go see what's going on.
It's just another chance to do it again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Planet X is brought to you by the Ford Motor Company. Stop by North County Ford for a great deal on a new set of wheels. And by Vans. It depends how you look at it. Shoes, clothing, accessories. Vans.
Shall I get it like this?
If you look at my eyes deep inside, you can see that I'm a little young by the string crying. Cause the system's got me on my knees every day. I'm going against the groove, just try and multiply. I'm going against the regressions of the brain, trying to maintain, cause I gotta live again. For the fact that I gotta fight for the right, because the system don't wanna see me free. I'm walking on a trance of dynamite, watching my feet at the field, the surface rising above me. Mid cop, low key, break down the chains of slavery. History of me, teach the education to the youth. Plant the land to breathe, we create the seeds. Give them what they need, emancipate the land. Give a helping hand to expand. Gotta fight for the right to free our mind. Gotta fight for the right to free our mind. Gotta fight for the right to free our mind.
Let me let it go, cause it feels so fast. Pushing envelopes, cause a lot don't last. Staying in control, when it go hard fast. Surround cell phones to stereo blast.
I'm back in the system every day, and it seems like a brother's on his knees for the big break. It seems the revolution's got me up against the walls, but I'm still trying to stand tall. I'm going up against the seas, I'm trying to maintain my culture just to be free. Living in reality where the system's up against me, and I'm living like a true vigilante. I'm like a rebel of the soul, never giving them for the price of fame.
Hey, what's going on? This is Roslyn with Planet X. Today we're here at the National Skimboarding Championships, and I'm standing here with Laura. Yeah. I'm good. Great. So how long have you been riding for? For just like 2 years now, I think. What's it like being out here with all these guys? It's a little intimidating because they're bigger and there's a lot of big boards flying around. You don't want to hurt yourself, so. But you're tough. You manage, huh? It's fun. It's worth it. This is Roslyn and Laura, and you're watching Planet X.
The future has arrived.
North County Ford, you can count on us.
The grand opening continues at North County Ford. Come see why we're outselling our competition. Experience our easy car buying and state-of-the-art service at North County Ford off Highway 78 in Vista.
North County Ford, you can count on us.
North County Ford in Vista.
mercy, mercy, Lord have mercy. Here come the worm. Oh Lord have mercy, 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 Lord have mercy. Here I come. Oh Lord have mercy, 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 Lord have mercy. Here we come. Lord have mercy, mercy, mercy. Nothing like a real nice day on the beach to make you feel so fine. And there ain't nothing like a nice song swim in the ocean, playing in the bright sunshine. But you gotta think world peace, come love one another. Try to get along with nature, our mother. We can all be happy. Live for love, unity, keep skanking. Come on, gotta keep skanking, Lord. Everybody should be skanking. Everybody should be skanking. Everybody should be skanking every day. Alright. Everybody should be skanking. Even on the top ranking. Everybody should be skanking.
Hey, this is Rosalind with Planet X. Today we're here in Laguna, and I'm standing here with Ronnie. He's one of the judges for the Victoria Skimboarding Championships. Say hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
So we're just wondering, I know that the sport's grown a lot lately. Where are its roots, and where do you see it growing in the future?
The sport was born right here in Laguna Beach on these slopes right here. And, you know, the future for skimboarding is wide open. We're seeing a lot more sponsorship, a lot more interest worldwide. And people like Bill Bryan, Jeff Gomez, I mean, some of the heats you saw down here today is just phenomenal.
And when it started out, they were on those wooden boards, weren't they? I remember that.
Most of us made our own little wooden boards, you know, round ones, and just started sand sliding. But guys like Chris Henderson, who's competing in the finals today, he's really the godfather of our sport. He's, you know, 40, and he's still out there with the guys who are 20 and 23 years old. And it's incredible, the longevity of some of these athletes, considering the punishment that they take.
So I hear Nick Hernandez is in competition today. Is he a pretty good skimboarder?
Absolutely. He's one of the top 10 in the world.
Well, let's go find him. Hey, Planet X, this is Rosalind. I'm here with Nick Hernandez. So, Nick, you're from Laguna Beach. I hear skimboarding started here.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, skimboarding started on the coasts of California with my grandfather used to make wood planks, put some shellac on them and slide down into the sand. But actual wave riding and extreme skimboarding started right here in Laguna Beach because we have the biggest shore break of anywhere in California as far as I've seen so far. So yeah, Laguna Beach is the home of ripping extreme skimming.
And what's your favorite move, if you had to pick one?
Getting barreled would have to be my favorite move to see anyone. The longer, bigger driving barrel you can get, that's great.
Can't you see it's a life situation? Don't you know that a mother's calling?
Who's that up there?
This is my friend the Worm. He's crazy. He's got the O'Neill hat on. He's sponsored by O'Neill. One of the best announcers I've ever seen in my life. There's the judges. Friend Garth the Worm. He sings with common sense as well. He does some good reggae chanting style, and he's on our new album, State of the Nation. And there's a song called Skankin' with the Worm. It's been one of the favorite songs. So there's the little band. This is Skim Magazine. This is Butch from Skim Magazine.
What's going on out there? Planet X.
Planet X in the house. This is Butch from Skim Magazine.
What's going on out there? Planet X.
This is the present Planet X with a Skim Magazine ceremony. So,
Do you want to hear more?
to show our gratitude at Skimboarding Lifestyle, and at Skim Magazine to Planet X for all the help. Here you go, man.
Right on, thank you.
Oh Lord have mercy, 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 Lord have mercy. Here we come, Lord have mercy, mercy, mercy. Nothing like a real nice day on the beach to make you feel so fine. And there ain't nothing like a nice song swim in the ocean, playing in the bright sunshine. But you gotta think world peace, come love one another. Try to get along with nature, our mother. We can all be happy. Live for love, unity, keep skanking. Come on, gotta keep skanking, Lord. Everybody should be skanking. Everybody should be skanking. Everybody should be skanking every day. Alright.
I am Bill Bryan down here at Lisa Beach in Laguna, California. I'm here at Victoria Skimboard Championships, and you're watching Planet X.
I claim this world in the name of Planet X.
I have absolutely nothing to do. I have no job. My mom wants to kick me out of the house. I have no reason to live. Everything sucks.
Yeah! You want some of this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Life sucks.
That hurt. But that's what I'll do for this show, man. Gotta love it. Okay, that's right. Buena. That good. Perfect.
Great moves here at Laguna Beach, but right now we're going over to Maui to talk to surf legend Jerry Lopez, only here on Planet X.
Waves are up, well I do not work. My parents think I am a jerk. Hey! Hey! We drive up and down the coast, serving beer we love the most. Hit the parties right at dusk, we throw on shorts, we don't wear masks. Hey! Hey! Down by the shore, we sleep in vans, with the teenage girls, with the deep dog tans. Pounding surf, we wake at 6. One more time, then wax off sticks. We rip and shred, always 4 hours, then we drink our beer under lifeguard tower. Hey! Hey! Outside, man.
I guess it wasn't until 1970 or so that there was even any professional surfing events. And I guess the first Pipe Masters was in 71 or 72, I can't remember that far back. But there was only 6 guys in it. It was kind of a joke, really, because nobody surfed the pipeline back then. I did more than anyone else of the other 6. And actually the very first year, I came to the beach in the morning. Corky Carroll was one of the competitors. He was the only guy there in the parking lot at the beach park. And I went and looked at the waves, and they were not so good. And I asked him, he was reading a newspaper, if the contest would be on, and he said he didn't think so because the waves were no good. And so I left the North Shore and came back to town and didn't even know that they ran the contest. And so I was watching the news later that evening, and they announced the results for the pipeline, the first annual Pipeline Masters. I was really shocked. I was very disappointed that I missed it.
He missed the first Pipeline Masters because he went back to town. And somewhere along the line, the story, came out that I had tricked him into going back to town because I told him the contest wasn't on, and it was just a great story, and I sincerely wish that I actually would have done that, because it would have been a great thing to do. The guy was such a great surfer.
The next year, there was again only 6 guys, and I won, but there was, none of those guys really surfed that much at the pipeline, so it was not so much of a contest. And those were the first times at the pipeline. Well, we're here in beautiful Olinda, Maui, and you're watching Planet X.
Hi, good to be this. I'm Bob Woodward, and we're here with one of the legends of surfing, Hobie. How you doing, Hobie?
Very good, thank you.
All right, good to have you here on the show today. We have some real old boards here. Tell me about that board up there. What year was something like that?
That's one I made in my garage, and I'm guessing it's about 51, possibly.
1951, and they were already, is there glass on that board?
No, that was glass. The glass was a finer weave cloth than what they use nowadays, but it's called surfboard cloth, in fact. But everything that I made, I got in kind of at the right time, just as the balsa board was coming into play in the fiberglass.
All right, now Hobie's really diversified in the last few years. You guys have all kinds of different products, and you know, how has that affected Hobie? You guys are expanding continuously. Every time I come by here, you have a new product. You guys are really on the roll now. How's that going?
Well, we've kind of been at it for a while. A skateboard since 1962. Actually, I did a clothing line in 63, and then picked it back up again in 76. What else we got? The sailboats, we started those in 68.
Right, so you had the Hobie Cat in 68.
Yeah. So a lot of them have a little bit of longevity to them and are all still, I think a model airplane did in 74, and it's actually still being produced today, a radio control glider. Hi, I'm Hobie Alter, and you're watching Planet X.
Are you afraid of sharks? Well, when's the last time you fed sharks by hand, without a cage, in Tahiti? Stay tuned.
I have absolutely nothing to do. I have no job. My mom wants to kick me out of the house. I have no reason to live. Everything sucks.
Yeah! You want some of this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Life sucks.
Pretty nice moves down here at Laguna Beach, but right now let's go over to Tahiti and check out what Joe Explorer's doing.
I'm Joe Explorer, special correspondent for Planet X, and do not tune in today if you are afraid of sharks, because we are going to be hand feeding sharks and stingrays in Tahiti.
Come on! No, whoa!
This is it. I would like, for one last time, to get a shot of my arms, all 10 fingers.
Come on, guys.
Legs.
They're feeding you.
No fingers. How do you say, I risk my life for this job. Here I go.
I immediately jet off for underwater creatures. The second we got underwater and I saw these sharks feeding on this fish, I realized that I am so glad to be on the higher end of the food chain. The rules stated by the guide say that we're supposed to stay on one side of the rope and the sharks are supposed to stay on the other side of the rope. Supposedly the sharks think that it's some kind of a net or a trap. Well, apparently this guy didn't listen to the rules.
I thought I was in a movie. I mean, every time I scuba dived, I always feel like I'm in a movie, and I never feel like anything's really going to bite or hurt me.
It came pretty close though. One time it came about this close to me, and then it became very real. And they have like this really, really, really big dead fish that they're feeding them. It's all bloody and gross, and all the sharks are coming up.
It's amazing. There were a black-tipped shark I probably saw at any one given time, 9, 10 in the same area. A bunch of other fish. You know, carnage. What can I say? They're beautiful creatures.
It's true. It really isn't anything to be afraid of. But I'm hungry, so we're gonna eat. Manuya.
Our shark encounter lasted about an hour, and then after this brief excursion through a tropical shower, we came across a sandbar. It was just chock full of these amazing-looking creatures. Stingrays, just like sharks, which are actually close relatives, have skeletons made of cartilage. And they're very soft, like velvet, but at the same time, it's really strong.
Yeah, they're really smooth.
Watching them cruise around is just incredible. Their motions are so fluid in the water. Once the fish came out, they were so friendly, but at the same time, I was still a little intimidated by the size of their stingers.
Yeah, it's right there. I think it's between my legs!
The rays were really friendly and tame, and the locals do this thing where they kiss them. So I said, heck, you know, I'll give it a shot. Well, apparently this one's already been spoken for.
Mrs. Paul's. You got a fish stick up there. Fish sticks right here.
This is Joe Explorer, your special correspondent from Planet X, signing off from the shark and stingray feed in Tahiti.
I don't know where to turn the void. I want to live. Fish has reached level red.
你干什么？看俺的光谱呀！
I'm Corky Carroll, and we're in the Huntington Beach, Surf City, where there's 2 girls for every boy. And you're watching Planet X. Hey, where's my bed? Where's my 2 chicks?
Planet X is brought to you by the Ford Motor Company. Stop by North County Ford for a great deal on a new set of wheels. And by RiderX.com. RiderX, rider owned. And by LevelRed.com. Are you living at Level Red?